How overbearing is to Colombia's apricot? The poor block the road. Don't say that beating people can't breathe. The kids pushed the car to the side. This is their boss, George Lara. No one is not afraid, he's really aggressive. When he gets home, he wants to swim to warm himself up first. But while swimming, then he saw his watch. So he dived down to pick it up. When he was about to touch it, a man dressed in black appeared. I held him tight so he couldn't breathe. He quickly died of asphyxiation. The boss is no longer in a swimming position that floats on the water. Security guard passing by saw. But then, the man in black grabbed the boss's arms. You fake the movements of the swimmers. After completing the task, the man in black quickly left. I changed clothes in the warehouse. Maid brings clothes to the pool. I saw the boss floating on the water. They quickly jumped out to save him. All the boys ran into the house one by one, but the assassin took the opportunity to sneak out from the back door of the kitchen. Just think that the boss is strangled unreasonably. He went bald to the big bridge. Time calculation, and wait for the ship I arranged to pass. And so I ran away without a trace. He's bald about a mysterious wharf, and gave the people there a bottle of wine. And then you sail away. Just go and enjoy the beautiful late afternoon view. Then you go back to your place. It's a villa deep in the forest. You're a mechanic killer. Not afraid to pull the trigger, but you're better at making things happen. It's also known as a bad word for others. Make your goal go away. I don't know if the devil is good. Just like this news. Boss to Colombia asphyxiated water unintentionally. Your job doesn't have any emotion. This is an intermediary named Harry. You're also my friend Bald. He's in charge of giving you your money, Bald. Bald CA to play in the city. A beautiful girl takes the initiative to plunge into my arms. I'm Bald, I'm smiling. Who wants to see the next scene must subscribe to the channel. When the alarm goes off, the queen will send it. Not long after I received a mission. After opening the computer, it's your intermediary again. It's also Harry. Bald doesn't act immediately but clarifies everything first. I called my boss at the company. Fly to another city. Your boss explained to you that by last month they have a very important mission. So they sent 5 people flying to Cape Town. In South Africa, it took 6 months to arrange. So far, 5 people have been killed. There's someone you're used to. That's the guy with the glasses. The details of the mission are only 2 people. One is superior and the other is Harry. Don investigated Harry's financial condition. He's found foreign transaction history. 2 weeks ago, nearly $3 million has been transferred to the bank. Harry is old. More than that, they're in debt. He also has a son who likes to spend money. I don't want to take this step either. Harry was also one of the most revered. But the principal is the principal. Harry must be removed immediately. I want to talk to Harry first. He knows your relationship. But Harry had no way back. Any day you live, the company will be in danger. That day, they're all hoping Bald will be the one to solve this. I didn't want Harry to suffer. Not necessary. He went bald to investigate the news. The truth is exactly what the boss said. Harry got a phone call that day. Get out of that building, Harry. They're coming to you tonight. Take everything that's against them and get out of there. Let's go, Harry. Follow your plan, Bald. He used scissors to cut off the power. Then go into the dedicated elevator. He followed the bald man's instructions to the car parked downstairs. Your car is there. There are bullet holes in the glass. Until the bald man appears. Harry understood everything. This is the scene that the bald man set up. You came to finish him. You know the reason is because of Capao. He took his favorite gun. This gun has stuck with him for 33 years. Above engraved the words "Heaven does not help people with heart." You know it's hard to escape death today. I fired a few shots and there was a muffle. They took my gun. This is human life. At least I didn't die a coward. Harry knows even if you're not bald. Your boss will also send someone else. General, you must leave today. 2 close friends say goodbye. In front of Harry's grave, there's a boy in memory of you. He is his 7-year-old son. A guy named Steve. They went to Father Steve's house together. Because Harry's savings didn't have any money, so the bank confiscated his house. Someone who likes to spend money and cause trouble like Steve. Not close to Sue Pocket, but you love your father. What kind of person would mess with someone in a wheelchair? Steve had to do something. It's about finding the killer to avenge your father. Listen to music or drink good wine. Guns all over the house. This place is not going to belong to you anymore. Steve parked his truck on the side of the road at night. A car thief threatens you. But Steve had no clue what he was going to investigate. From the top of the street, he deliberately hugged the tree waiting for the rabbit there. You beat up the car robber savagely and tried to end him. At that moment, the bald man appeared to stop him. I turned the robber over and reminded him, if someone asks, tell them you fell. Don't let us come looking for you. Instead of waiting for the opportunity to kill, he drew a red heart behind his back. Steve came to the bald guy. He wanted to be an assassin. You know what happened between your father and me? My father is your guide. He chose you over me. He's in peace now. And didn't leave a dime for me. I think the one you owe now is me. Steve made sense, but the bald man rejected him. When I got home, I thought about it and called Steve. I'm going to drag you into the fire. Sooner or later, you'll let me go. You let Steve have a dog. My job is not to have any emotions at all. The feeling of revenge will lead to your death. So don't do anything stupid like I did the other day. He's bald. Let Steve take the dog to the coffee shop. Every day he ordered a cup of black coffee. Sitting by the window stroking the dog. We have to do that every day. Persevere to the next step of the plan. Bald took Steve to shooting practice. This is the essential skill of an assassin. And that's walking the dog every day for coffee. You practice shooting every day. Finish this and come back to that. Bald man leads Steve Theo on a mission. The target is this trader. They negotiate with the buyer. When the merchant counts the money, the bald man pulled out his belt. You clenched his neck, he had no resistance. He was easily killed in the end. Then you create a fake suicide scene. The bald man who brought Steve home had one more mission. Their target is the man in the cafe. His name is North. He's a mechanic assassin from another organization. Normal people can't approach him. The North has two weaknesses. One is a dog and the other is a young man. I want you to come to the bar for a drink. Bald man prepares poison. Even a drop can make a person stunned. 6 drops will make your heart stop beating. Bald guy told Steve to go out at the bar. I told you to move quickly and cleanly. This time you have to complete the task alone. In the pub, they talked happily. When North goes to the toilet, Steve had a very easy chance. But you remember the bald man. You want to kill him yourself. They return to the North's house in a minute's absence. He tightened the guy with his belt. But you're not his opponent. The North just needs to use how they caught you. Like a kitten. He threw you rolling from side to side. I don't know where you got it. Courage wants to be like you, bald. Want to strangle the enemy simply. But the pain. But this isn't about finding death. It's out of medicine. But maybe it's because you have the aura of the main character. Will be forgiven. He picked up the screwdriver and stabbed North. Just 2 moves made him stagger. North is another organization's mechanic killer. But he's a limb guy. Not when it comes to the brain. He was killed by the new soldier. It's about giving you baldness. I told you to clean it up. After taking the money lao to people to the pub. Of course, Bald had a plan in his heart. I went before. Steve has a girl on his side. Remember to subscribe to the Queen channel to send it. Read more about training your new guy. Went to Thai Superior. But my boss just reminded me, that's Harry's son. The next task is a man. People used to call him Cardinal Henry Van. I'm not the Cardinal. I don't follow any religion. I'm in a higher class than them. And Van is a fraud. He's made a few $100,000 to students came to Chicago. And they want to find the opportunity to cause a natural death. 2 people over the wall. Climb up outside the valve room. They've installed some hidden cameras there. The most surveillance of his movements. That day they started to act. Climb to the first high-rise building, then down the chimney. After drilling a glass plate, put the mini camera inside. Continue to observe. When the injection valve is irritated, his bodyguard is out on the phone. The 2 students immediately rushed into Chip and covered his nose and mouth. The original plan was to get an Angeloline shot. But his stimulant drugs have a destructive effect. So you to just do this. Make a man want to change the world. End your life here. Then they quickly went back to where the glass was drilled. The bodyguard came back, and Van went out of his way. He called everyone to come and see. While cleaning, Steve's tool dropped off the screw, rolled a few rounds. And the bodyguard comes in front of the glass. It doesn't seem like an accident. See, I just risked my life. The enemy attacked with a gun. Steve came out of the vent. Bald man doesn't panic. Wait for the guards to come and fight them. After defeating all the wrong hands, you pick up a gun and you pull the trigger. Jump out the window. Separately handle each opponent neatly one by one. You to get together again. Jump down from the high floor with a rope, prepared in advance. They stopped on the floor, planned in the plan, and banged on the window. They're looking for 2 men. If you take the connecting flight, I'll fly separately. After you went bald to the airport, and a man in glasses caught his attention. I suddenly felt cold on my back. And this person is not dead. 5 people were killed. If so, your good friend Harry might have been harmed. You're bald, follow the road. It's hard to let go when you're in the car. Probably 15 minutes. That's enough time for us. You're both mechanic assassins. Of course, no one is afraid of anyone. Go to your boss and give him some money. Let him kill the remaining 4, then tell him to pretend to be dead and disappear. Harry was suspicious of the 7th defeat. You're going to expose that. It must be removed. Bald was defrauded by the organization. You killed the man who was your teacher. He's Harry's friend. There is nothing more painful in my heart. 2 mechanic assassins are starting to strike. Jump in, fighting in the tight space of the bus. Finally, he fell out of the car. A car just in time to arrive. And there's certainly no magic going on. Move the scene here, you're bald to the river. The friend who sat here for years is no more. It's certainly not a coincidence. Of course, a few minutes later, an armed group came in. See, the organization sent someone to get rid of the bald man, but unfortunately Bald CA had planned it before. Even a stronger weapon is useless. Bald man calling Steve. It seems that the enemy has come and conquered it. He reminded the boy on the sofa. There's a gun under the carpet on the left. Its safety pin is on for training. It's hard to beat Harry's jealousy. Steve is also very good with guns. I know I was fooled. Bald man ready to risk a fight. I told Steve to get his weapon. Steve suddenly found out. The gun followed his father for 33 years. Steve was confused. Maybe you're the killer who killed your father. To people on a small boat, prepare a plan for dealing with the superior. They went to Dean's lawyer and take his family away. Bald wants to know where Dean is. He dragged the lawyer's daughter to the kitchen. Put your hand in the meat grinder. The lawyer did not dare to sell out until the girl's hand is pressed down. Then he shouted out Dean's address. And luckily under the machine was just a piece of meat. Otherwise, a girl will hate her father for the rest of her life. Pick up your phone, Bald. Dean wants to spend $1 million on this. Dean didn't expect it. Bald guy's not interested in money. A killer who doesn't hate his hands comes back to life. Conscience wants to be conservative. If that's the case, Pink told me to be careful. But he didn't know that Bald had snuck into the building. There were many guards there to protect him. He went bald and Steve started to act. Steve's motorcade began to organize. Steve steals to boss cars. See, Bald has planned carefully. Blue car emitting smoke. Crashed directly into the dream convoy. Through the narrow lane. He's bald and the opponent's side is passive. Plunge into a fierce gunfight. Then I changed to a big car. And crashed hard at the opponent. In front of the car. Steve was about to jump off the bus. The bus crashed into the bus and exploded in the back. If the bald man is the enemy that kills you, the person pulling the strings must be crazy. That's why he's your biggest enemy. He tried to turn the car around and run away, but I realized I've been attacked before and after. Dean was completely eliminated. They didn't say much, they shot. There will be no more superiors, and the bald man is about to disappear. The two said, laughing happily. It's at this moment, bald guy saw the gun at Steve. I suddenly realized that Steve had doubted me. And Steve wants to stay on as an assassin. Because of my pin, there is a hatred in your heart that cannot be let go. You want to keep killing the bad guys. Two people go to a gas station and Steve wants to go shopping. He put a gas pump in his car and was about to go into the store. When you go into the bar, you change the gas pump. Gasoline quickly flows to the bottom. Steve took a long walk away. Come behind the wall. He kept honking his father's gun at him. Gasoline is pouring under the car. You can't forgive the man who killed your father. This great hatred must be reported. Come to your house, Bald. Steve decided to enjoy everything. The first is to unstamp the supercar. And Bald never let you touch that car. But after you've been driving for a few minutes, Steve saw the letter in the passenger seat, right to Steve above. If you can read this, you will go. Life is certain. And the supercar immediately went into the smoke. Revenge is not wrong. All I can say is you poked the wrong guy at the gas station. Police watch security camera. Next to the car that exploded, there was a man who escaped. The police watched it many times and confirmed that it's a person. Bald man didn't explode to death. I soon predicted it all. If not, why are you the #1 killer in the world? Your plan hasn't changed. I'm ready to go to the hidden mountain. Live happy days with beautiful girls. Part 1 of the movie Mechanic Killer. This is the end. Thank you for watching all the videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to receive the video soon. See you, dear audience. Go to the next reviews.